بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا. My brothers in Islam, this is the 27th lesson of Arabiyyah to Bayna Yadayk of book 1 part 1 of the new version. And in our previous class we talked about the Hamza, what is Hamza to Istifham, and Hal, and what is also a harfu istifham, and a questioning letter. So you have hal and we have a. There is some information I wanted to share with you, my brothers in Islam. ونختم هذا الموضوع, and we finish this topic بقاعدة, with a principle or rule, بقاعدة استخدام هل وآ, with the ruling, with a rule or principle of using هل and آ. What are two letters of questioning, حرف استفهام مع همزة القطع. So if you imagine همزة القطع is the strong Hamza, and this Hamza, as you can see, this Hamza here is Hamzatul Qat'i. It's a strong Hamza. It's always pronounced, beginning, middle, and end of the sentence, just like the word A'id, like the first letter of A'id. So Hamzatul Qat'i, my brothers in Islam, imagine that we have a Hamzatul Qat'i, like A'id. So what happens if we put Hal before it or A? This is something I want to share with you, and if there is any effect by preceding A'id, for example, with the word Hal or A. Likewise, Hamzatul Wasli, when we have a word with Hamzatul Wasl, like the word Ondor or the word Istami', what happens when we put Hal before it? And what happens when we put A before it? What is Hamzatul Istifham? هل لا تؤثر, هل doesn't affect, لا في همزة القطع ولا في همزة الوصل بعدها. So يعني هل does not affect همزة القطع, what comes after it. So you say, for example, هل أعيد, should I repeat? And it doesn't affect the Hamzat al-Wasl after it. So you just say, for example, فتقول هل أذهب الآن. You see, هل أذهب الآن. هل, did هل affect the word أذهب? What is I go? الآن now. Should I go now? هل أذهب الآن. The Hamza is the Hamza of أذهب. As you will see in a bit, there are some other changes that will come in other situations. Alhamdulillah. So when using hal with the Hamzatul Qata', don't worry about anything, just use it and change nothing. So hal with Hamzatul Qata', nothing happens. Adhabu is still adhabu, like whether there is hal before or not. Adhabu has not changed. هل استأذنت الأستاذ. As you can see, this letter is a Hamzat al-Wasl. We're going now to the weak Hamza. هل استأذنت الأستاذ في الخروج. يعني as you can see, nothing really changed except for the kasra below the lam, but that has a reason, because you're not pronouncing the Hamzat al-Wasl. you skip it because it's in the middle of the sentence, and that's why the first word, the first letter now has become automatically the sin, because the Hamza, it's like it's not there. And because the sin has a sukoon, as you see, and hal has normally a sukoon, as you know, that's why we have a rule in the Arabic language. It's called iltiqa'u sakinain, the meeting of the two sukoons, and this is prohibited and not allowed in the Arabic language. And that's why always the first sukoon compromises. You cannot have two sukoons next to each other. So that's why the first sukoon compromises and gets a kasra here. Okay? And sometimes it gets a fatha, like for example in the ayah min al jinnati wan nas. Min al jinnati wan nas. Min is normally with sukoon, as you know. Ana min Pakistana. So why it's mina in the Quran? Because two sukoons are touching each other. The sukoon of the noon, min, and the sukoon of the lam, al jinnati, because the weak hamza is dropped. So the lam has a sukoon, and what has become automatically the next letter after the noon of min. Anyway, this is just some extra information. This is not what I'm going to talk about now. So, first of all, let's see. Did something happen to the hamza? Did we delete the hamza? No, nothing really happened to the hamza. We don't pronounce the hamza anyway. Even if we change the hal in another word. أين استأذنت? For example, I changed hal to أين. Where did you ask permission from the teacher? أين استأذنت? So I never pronounced the hamza al-wasl in the beginning of in the middle of the sentence. So hal has no effect upon the next word. If it's with the hamza al-wasl. That's what my message is. Going to the meaning of this sentence, هل استأذنت الأستاذ في الخروج? What means, did you ask permission? استأذنت, you asked permission. So it's a past tense verb. استأذن يستأذن. يستأذن is the present tense. استأذن, ask permission. استئذانا is the masdar. فهو مستأذن. He is the one who asked permission. والمفعول مستأذن. Or مستأذن فيه. This is what you're asking permission about. والله أعلم. Anyway, extra information. هل استأذنت الأستاذ? Did you ask the teacher permission في الخروج, in going out? Nothing happened. Okay, now comes the extra information, and now comes the change. أما همزة الاستفهام. Now you have to focus. The همزة الاستفهام, this other questioning tool, this other questioning letter, as for همزة الاستفهام, فهي تؤثر في همزة الوصل. As for همزة الاستفهام, it affects the همزة الوصل. Imagine, همزة الاستفهام is a strong hamza. It affects the weak hamza after it. If there is a weak hamza straight after همزة الاستفهام, it will be affected. What is the effect? And does it also happen with Hamzat al-Qata? You can imagine we have the Hamzat al-Istifham, what is a strong Hamza. And after that we have a Hamzat al-Qata of the next word, like adhabu, a'idu. What happens? And this is the question, and this is the situation that I'm going to explain bi'idnillah. So, Hamzat al-Istifham, amma Hamzat al-Istifhami, as for Hamzat al-Istifham, فهي تؤثر, it affects في همزة الوصل, it affects the همزة الوصل, the weak hamza that comes after it, دون, without همزة القطع, دون همزة القطع, so it will not affect the strong hamza. Okay, مثال ذلك, an example for that. أذهب means I go. It's a very famous word in the Arabic language. أذهب is I go. What kind of hamza is this? This is hamzatul qat'i, strong hamza. Okay. If I put hal before, hal adhabu, nothing will happen because hal has no effect. Hal adhabu, do I go? What happens if I put the Hamzat al-istifham, the questioning istifham, the questioning letter before it? Nothing happens. أَأَذْهَبُ الْآنَ, do I go now? Have we deleted something? Have we removed something? Everything is the same. Nothing changed. أَأَذْهَبُ الْآنَ. This is with the strong Hamza, with Hamzat al-Qata. The Hamzat al-istifham with Hamzat al-Qata. أَأَذْهَبُ الْآنَ, do I go now? فَلَمْ يَتَغَيَّرْ شَيْءٌ, nothing changed. لكن, but, مع كلمة, with the word استأذنت, you asked permission, وهي تبدأ بهمزة الوصل, and it begins with the weak Hamza. تقول أستأذنت الأستاذ في الخروج. Where is the Hamzat al-Wasl? It's totally deleted. If Hamzatul Istifham, the Hamza of the questioning too, comes in a word that has a weak Hamza, you drop the weak Hamza completely. Look. When it comes in a strong Hamza, nothing changes. أَأَذْهَبُ, you have two Hamzas. When it comes in a weak Hamza, look brothers, أَسْتَأْذَنْتَ, did you ask permission from the teacher? أَسْتَأْذَنْتَ الْأُسْتَاذَ فِي الْخُرُوجِ, in going out. ومثال آخر, another example. كلمة اسمك, we know اسمك is your name for masculine. اسمك, your name for feminine. Okay, if you put hal before, hal ismuka, nothing changes. Hal ismuka is your name. Hal ismuka Khalidun, is your name Khalid? And you know that between hal and the next word is space, and between Hamzat al-Istifham and the next word is no space, because Hamzat al-Istifham is like wow, you have to put it very near the next word. Okay, I want to ask you, my brothers in Islam, put the Hamzatul Istifham before this word, ismuka. What will happen? What will happen with Hamzatul Wasl? تقول, you say, أسمك خالد. أسمك خالد. Is your name Khalid? أسمك خالد. Is your name Khalid? What is the Hamzatul Wasl? The weak Hamza is totally gone. ومثال ثالث, third example, كلمة ابنك. You see weak Hamza, ابنك, your son. تقول ابنك هذا. What does that mean? Is this your son? ابنك هذا. أما إذا دخلت همزة الاستفهام, as for if إذا means if if the همزة الاستفهام دخلت, entered, past tense, على, upon, ما أوله ال. If the همزة الاستفهام enters upon a word that starts, أوله, its beginning of that word is al. Any word. Al-Ustadu, the teacher. Okay. Al-Talibu, the student. You don't say Al-Talibu, although you write the lam. It has to do with sun letters, and it's something you'll learn later on, inshallah. So, Al-Ustadu is the teacher. So, if the word starts with al-ta'rif, the al of definition. Okay? al-ta'rif تبدأ بهمزة الوصل. al-ta'rif, the al of definition, starts with همزة الوصل. كما ترى, as you can see. For example, the word al-hiwaru. Al means the. Can we say that the al is a strong hamza here? No, definitely not. It's a weak hamza. because it has nothing on the stick, you know, the sign of a strong Hamza, as you can see in the word Eid. Okay, what happens if the Hamzatul Wasli, if the Hamzatul Istifham, the questioning Hamza, enters upon L? And you know how many times we have L in the Quran. What means that? What happens now, brothers in Islam? فَإِنَّهُ يُصْبِحُ مَدًّا. It's a feminine word. Hamza is a feminine word. So it's فَإِنَّهَا تُصْبِحُ. Indeed, then indeed it becomes. فَإِنَّهَا, then indeed it, تُصْبِحُ, becomes a med. And a med is written like a stick with a wave. And a letter normally takes about a second in pronunciation. But when you use a med, my brothers in Islam, what means literally, meddun is a stretching, a lengthening. So you stretch it to about 2 seconds. And the med is like a wave above a stick. As you can see in this word, كما في كلمة الآن, الآن. So this third letter is a med. You see, الآن, this is the wave. But I'm not talking about this third letter, because it was already there anyway. I want to speak about the first letter and the second letter. What means L? What is L? What happens now? You say al-ana. You see, the L has now become a med in the beginning, because the Hamzat al-Istifham has entered upon L. Al-ana satadhabu. Now are you going? Is it now that you are going? It has become a question. Because if it's not a question, it's like this. Al-ana satadhabu. Now you're going. Exclamation mark. Al-ana satadhabu. Are you going now? Al-ustadu maridun. You see, al-ustadu maridun. Is the teacher ill? Normally, look, normally you write like this. Al-ustadu, the teacher. Al is, Al means the, and it starts with a weak Hamza. So what happened when we put the Hamza before, the Hamza of questioning? Look. Al-ustadu. Okay, brothers? وهناك أمثلة لهذه القاعدة, and there are examples لهذه القاعدة for this principle or rule في القرآن الكريم, in the noble Quran. وذلك, and that, في سورة, in the Surah Yunus, Surah Yunus 59. Surah Yunus 59, 59. Surah Yunus 91, 91. Surah Al-An'am 143, the ayah 143. After that, my brothers in Islam, we're going further, inshallah. هل أنت باكستاني? Are you Pakistani? Pakistani. What we find here, brothers in Islam, if I ask you straight away, clearly, what is the difference between the country name and the person? Because Pakistaniyun is a person, it's not the country. You cannot say to a person, Anta, you are Pakistanu. Yani you are Pakistan, you're the whole country. You're the whole country. It's almost 200 million people, or 180 million people. I'm not sure about the amount of inhabitants, but Allahumma barik, very much. So you cannot say you are America, you are Britain. Yani, you have to say you are British, you are American. So what's the difference between the country name and the person, the nationality, the person? You will straight away say to me, inshallah, look, the country name is in the end of the fourth line. And straight away below it, at the end of the fifth line, we have the person, the nationality. And the difference, even for a child, when he looks, he will say that the nationality has an extra ya, because Pakistan has no ya. Pakistaniyun has a ya with a shadda. Aha. So to make a nationality, to refer a person to a country, you have just to add the ya. That is true, my brothers in Islam. And this ya is called in the Arabic language, in the grammar, this term, this letter is called ya'un nisbati. Remember that for those who are looking for extra information. Ya'un nisbati. It's called, the meaning of it is the ya of the relation, the ya of connection. Aha. So you're connecting me to something, to a country. Now understand what nisbatun is. Ya'un nisbati means ya'un nisbati, the ya of the relation, the ya of the connection, the ya of the ascription. It's all meanings. The ya of attribution. Aha, you're attributing me to a country. And the term used in English, this is the term used in English, is relative or relational adjective. This is the English term of ya'un nisbati, the English meaning of it. Does it has another name? Yes. وتسمى, it's been called أيضا as well ya'un nasabi. Aha, ya'un nasabi. You know that, many of you knows that nasab means lineage, the ya of lineage. Okay. Anyway, وهي ياء مشددة, and it's a ya that has a shadda. مشددة, it has a shadda. Can you see, my brothers, the shadda? Where is the shadda on the ya? Pakistaniyun, the small w, that's the shadda. So you don't say Pakistaniyun, look, Pakistaniyun, no, Pakistaniyun, shadda, you emphasize, don't let the letter go. Keep it in the mouth for about 1/2 second. Pakistaniyun. See the difference? Pakistaniyun. Even a child in the primary school in the Arabic country, he will know that you're making a mistake by saying Pakistaniyun. No, Pakistaniyun. Look how you have to emphasize the ya. Pakistaniyun. That's the role of the shadda. So the ya'un nisbati hiya means is. It can also mean she, but here it means is. Hiya ya'un mushaddadatun. It's a ya with a shadda. Da'iman, it's always with a shadda. Da'iman means always, and da'iman is always to fatha. Maksurun ma qablaha. The letter before has a kasra. Maksurun ma qablaha. The letter before has a kasra. So any country name, Pakistanu, ends on a dhamma. When you make it a nationality, when you ascribe a person with the country, make the noon of Pakistanu a kasra. Give it a kasra, Pakistani. And now you come with the shadda of the ya'un nisbah. And now you come with the ya'un nisbah. I put two dhamma on it. Pakistaniyun. للدلالة, it indicates للدلالة على النسبة. Don't translate this على in English. So للدلالة, to indicate, li means to, so to indicate a nisbah, the connection. وتستخدم, and it's used مع جميع الجنسيات, with all the nationalities. Okay, There are some examples coming, inshallah. Very good. Inshallah, Allahumma yassir. وياء النسبة مضمومة في حالة التذكير. The ياء النسبة مضمومة has a ضمة. The ياء النسبة has a ضمة في حالة التذكير, in the situation of masculinity. You see, باكستاني. What is the حركة on the ياء? المشددة, the ياء with the shadda, it's ياء النسبة, it's what? It's to ضمة. Unless I put L before it, الباكستاني, the Pakistani, then it's one ضمة. But it's always ضمة. That's what it is. ومفتوحة, and it's with the فتحة في حالة التأنيث, and it has a فتحة in حالة, the situation of femininity. So ياء النسبة is not always with ضمة. No, it's with ضمة always for the masculine form, and it's with فتحة always in the feminine form. Give me some examples بإذن الله. Here are the examples, inshallah. باكستاني is a Pakistani person, male. مؤنثه, its feminine form is باكستانية. باكستانية. What happened here with the feminine form? We have still ياء النسبة, that's the letter before the last one, and then we have a shadda and a fatha on it, so it's always with a fatha. And to make the difference between the male and the female form, we add the ta'ul marbuta to the tight ta. As you know, that's the difference between the male and the female words in general. Very few exceptions, but this is the almost golden rule. The ta marbuta makes the difference. Al-Hindu is India. You see, some countries in the Arabic language, some countries they have L before, and some countries like Al-Hindu, India, and some countries they don't have L, like Pakistan. So those countries that you're going to memorize, inshallah, that have L, keep the L. Those countries that have no L, don't put the L. Okay? For example, America is America. It has no L. So you don't put L. Okay? Faransa, France. No L. Don't say Al Faransa. It's a mistake. Al Hindu has L, so keep the L. I know in English it doesn't make a lot of sense. You just say India, you don't say the India, but that's how the country names are in Arabic. Some have L, some not. Okay? So Al Hindu is India, but I'm not talking about the country now. I'm talking about the Ya'un Nisbah in the word Al Hindu. So Hindiyun is Indian person, masculine. And what is the feminine form? An Indian person, feminine. Hindiyatun. Hiya Hindiyatun. She's Indian. As-Sinu, another word that has L. As-Sinu is China. Okay? So if you memorize China, it's As-Sinu, and don't say to yourself, it's the China. No, it's just the way it is. As-Sinu is China. I want to ask you, my brothers in Islam, before I scroll down, what means Chinese man, or a Chinese masculine and a Chinese feminine? Siniyun. Look, the shadda, dhamma. Siniyun is a Chinese person, masculine. And for feminine, brothers, Siniyatun is Chinese for feminine. هل أنت باكستاني? Are you Pakistani? نعم. You can repeat, inshallah. نعم أنا باكستاني. Yes, I'm Pakistani. وما جنسيتك أنت? This is the most difficult word in the whole text, in the whole page, I think. وما and what? جنسيتك. جنسية, my brothers in Islam. جنسية. When you learn a word, drop all the extras. When you learn any word in the Arabic language, drop all the extras. You see the ka at the end? You see the ka at the end, my brothers in Islam? This letter, this ka is your. So drop it. Don't learn, for example, if you learn vocabulary, you don't going to learn your book. No, you're going to learn the word book itself. Okay? My pen. You don't going to learn, brothers, I'm going to learn vocabulary today. I'm going to learn my pen. No, learn the word pen on itself. Okay? Remove the pronoun what is my. Okay? So likewise in the Arabic, drop the ka, because ka is your for masculine. Jinsiyatuki, your, nationality for feminine. So what is the word nationality on itself? This is the question. Okay? Jinsiyatun. This is the root. This is a single form. Jinsiyatun is nationality. Okay? Jinsiyatun is nationality. It's a feminine word. Jinsiyatun. Okay? And it has no masculine form. It's just a feminine word. Like madrasatun is a feminine word. You cannot say madrasun. Let me make it masculine. Some words are feminine. Sayyaratun, car, is feminine. Don't say sayyarun is masculine car. No, it's just a feminine word. Anyway, jinsiyatun is the proper, this is the root form. Al-jam'u, as you can see, between two brackets, jinsiyatun, nationalities. Nationalities. Jinsiyatun are nationalities. So this is a word that you have to memorize because it's a part of the text. It's a part of the hiwar. All the words in the hiwar are also the words that you have to learn at home. Do you have to learn jinsiyatun? Nationalities, plural? No, you don't have to learn it because it's extra information. It's not in the book. How can I know it's not compulsory, jinsiyatun? Because it's not in the book. So you don't have to learn it. But those of you who are thirsty for extra information, they can learn jinsiyatun mufradun, single form, jinsiyatun jam'un, plural. I will end here inshallah and until our next class inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.